Tori Trades just made the biggest mistake of her trading career, and she's explaining everything in detail. Now, before you guys jump to conclusions, we are going to play this video. Now, Tori Trades have been trading for a very long time. I actually enjoy her content. I'm always watching her reels, and she's very inspirational to me. But let's go ahead and play this video and see what she really has to say.
So I royally effed up, royally messed up. Like in all 10 years of trading, this is my biggest lapse in judgment. Worst decision. I mean, this isn't going to be fun to talk about. It's not going to make me look great. And it is what it is. Since I have set the theme and set the tone for transparency, I have removed myself of the luxury of getting to pick and choose what trades I get to talk about. So, what did I do? I went on tilt. I'm human. It sucks. It was a shitty trade. It was a really crummy trade. I'll give you guys the lowdown on how it went down. At the beginning of July, I think it was like first week of July, I'm sitting in my living room and watching a podcast with some pretty big traders, ones that I look up to that I admire. And I'm listening to their stories, which I already know all their stories, but I'm listening to the trades that they're placing and the money that they're making, and realizing that I've been trading for just as long as these guys really messed me up. And I'm watching the podcast, and of course, I get an alert at the same time. A plus setup in platinum. The podcast is very long, so I had some time to kind of mull this position over. I went in. I went in heavy. I went in 40 contracts on a
Ooh.
trade, over leveraged. I
Ooh.
Before I had gotten into the trade, I had already created this like preconceived notion of exactly how this was going to play out in my head. I did my top-down analysis. I married this position that night, and everything pointed to
Ooh.
platinum falling. It was a short position. A three touch point upward trend line got broken, and everything was pointing to short positions. I'm talking 11-year high, X percentage gain to the upside. Like I had done research in the past, and it was like every time it had gotten to this key level, it completely fell off a cliff. Multiple years before, I think during COVID, during Ukraine, and one other time, like back in 2007, and it had reached this level and completely tanked. So I wanted to make my first six-figure trade, and I already saw it in my head. I placed a trade, 40 contracts. We went in heavy. In addition to going in heavy, I broke my rules. I
Oh.
believe a week later it had consolidated, and then a week later my exit was presented, and I didn't exit. Removed the stop and was married to this position. Everything had to work in my head. It had to happen. Price went against me. $250,000 worth of drawdown.
Gosh. Tori. Guys, can you imagine being $250,000 in the negative? Wow. Now, shout out for Tori Kelly because she is being very vulnerable right now, which a lot of traders will not do these days. But $250,000. Let's continue.
I think the stress of that trade probably took years off my life. Yay, you get to reap the consequences of your own actions. Congratulations, Tori. This is embarrassing. It is what it is. I'm gonna walk you guys through the trade. I'm gonna show you what happened, but I'm gonna
I'm
start by
sorry,
saying
Tori.
this: that this is a bad trade. It in no way means that I am a bad trader. This one trade does not negate my 10 years of experience in the markets, my years and years and years and years of showcasing my transparency. So let's get into it. I'm gonna just continue to show you guys how human I am and how
Mm.
real I am. And I highly doubt you're ever going to find another trader that showcases themselves going on tilt. So let's get into it. All right, this is the trade. We've got our three touch point trend line break. It had over three touch points. One, two.
Did you guys catch that? She said she married her trade. Number one, she broke her rules. Number two, she over leveraged. Number three. This is the reason why, no matter how good of a trader you are, do not always think that what you want to happen is going to exactly happen the way you want it to go. This is the reason why we must adjust to the markets. And Tori knows this, and I have nothing against Tori. And everything that she has explained, I proud her for being so open and honest because not a lot of traders showcase losses like this. Might be a couple that I know, but not to this degree. She's a real one. Her credibility is unmatched right now. Let's continue.
The first touch point of the trend line, 2, 3, 4. We got the break. I got into my position. Too heavy. I over leveraged. 40 contracts. We're up.
Was that a sell?
We're in drawdown. We're up. We're in drawdown. We're up.
Oh,
We get the break. We get the break here. I should have just taken my $35,000 loss.
okay. I'm so sorry, guys, that I keep pausing this, but there's something that's really sticking out to me. This line right here, and I know, like I said, her strategy is her strategy. I'm just telling you how I would have done this. Knowing that on a 4-hour time frame, this is a 4-hour bull run, right? So I'm pretty sure I'm thinking, assuming, please correct me if I'm wrong, that since you got touch points right here, since there are more than 3 or 4 touch points and so on and so forth, once it breaks, it usually will continue to go because you have a lot of touch points, right? In my opinion, even though this is a 4-hour go, because I saw all this right here, the support level, I personally would like to see it break this low. Just because, man, like there's a lot of support right here where price have not broken in the past. Because yes, even though these tap points, what she said in the past, where the market would just fall off a cliff, and this point around, it came back, grabbed liquidity, which I believe the market was giving people discounts to buy again. And sure enough, it bought. In my opinion, I probably would have waited for this low to break. And anytime I would have seen anything like this, I would have just said, forget it. I'm out. I would have took this buy right here. Because it's just with the trend and it's clean. But to each his own. Shout out to Toy Trades for continuously showing up your setup. This is how she trades. This is not about me, it's about her. I'm just reacting to it. Let's get it.
That was my anticipated risk for this trade. That would have been one of my biggest losses because I was in a 40 contract trade, but it still would have been within my risk parameters. This was according to the strategy. It was a scenario where it didn't work out and I should have closed my trade. I just didn't. I didn't. I was so convinced. I did everything. I did everything to convince myself that this trade was going to work out and I
She
needed to
really
stay in
married
it.
her
So
trade.
I marked up this key level. It got to it before, fell off. It got to it before, fell off. If it can get to it and fall off again, then I'm good. I'm safe. And it was a great decision to move my stop, to remove my stop. Got to it and started falling off. 4 hours after 4 hours after 4 hours after 4 hours after
Mm,
4 hours, I felt like my ego was so boosted. Even though I was in drawdown, I was like, oh, okay, I was a little early, but this is the one. It solidified already my thinking of, okay, let's remove the stop, let's break the rules. And it made me feel like it just gave confirmation to the bad decision.
mm.
That's all there is to it. I thought this was it. I just got in a little bit early. Now it's rolling over. It didn't. I froze.
Oh, wow.
When it got up here, I froze. It was excruciating.
Wow.
When I took this position, I talked to my students about it. I showed them. They saw everything. They saw my entry. They saw when I was supposed to get out. And then when I had to teach the next day, they got to see this drawdown. And it was tough. I had to tell my students that I broke my rules and that I'm sitting in the most amount of drawdown I ever have. That was
Mm,
one of the hardest things to do ever. I don't get to hide this. I don't get to just go in a room and lock myself and maybe one day pretend like this trade never happened. I've got so many eyes on me. So was I going through an identity crisis? Sure. Yeah. I'm like, wow, all the haters are finally going to get what they've all asked for.
mm.
They've all just been praying for my downfall and they finally got it. Way to go. They win. I thought that was what
As always, Tori, we're always going to have haters. Don't worry about them. They're always going to try to make a way to pray for your downfall, regardless if you're successful or not. So don't worry about that. And you know that. If anything, it brings you more exposure in a good way. So
Was going to happen. It kept going higher, higher and higher and
you can
higher.
tell she's
Three
stressed out
weeks
just by the way
later
she's
of
explaining this.
excruciating drawdown, price fell. I closed my position. I made $90,000. It's not something to be proud of. I broke every rule in the book. The setup was great. It was a 3 touch point trend line break. I created a high risk scenario by going in way too heavy in position size and made every mistake that I possibly could. Way too heavy in position. This wasn't part of the plan to remove the stop. I broke my rules and I
Oh, I like
didn't
how
cut
she
my
got that
loss.
drawn
It was an
out.
awful trade. It sucked. Does this mean I'm a bad trader? No. It means I'm human. It means I get my one pass of going on tilt. And I hope that you
Okay.
can learn from this and see this. I don't know how I'm never going to be able to articulate how painful that was, that drawdown. The best way that I can explain it is that I truly think the amount of stress that I went through in that trade took years off of my life. So I hope you can learn from this. I've learned a lot from this, but I will say some of you guys are going to see this trade, especially the people that just continue to pray for my downfall, continue to say that I'm a fake trader and just can't fathom that I'm truly, placing the trades that I'm placing. And those people I have come to find truly are able to capitalize anytime that they mention my name. So that just solidifies to me that I'm doing something right. I'm making some sort of an impact. I'm making people very uncomfortable. Every time
Exactly, Tori. Exactly. Just what I said earlier in the video. Let the haters hate. Let them share your stuff. Even me with this video is helping you get more exposure. I'm just saying. So who cares? You keep doing you. Tori, you have already proven to us your credibility. And people are always going to call you a fake trader. People are always going to call you, they're always going to hate on you. And they're going to say, oh, trading's a scam. You really don't make that much money. I just saw somebody just the other day do a reaction video of this woman saying that she's a fake trader, that she really doesn't make that much money like that. And I'm like, she showed she showed her results. She showed her withdrawals. She showed everything. What else do you want? And that's the thing. You will never please the hater, but the haters will elevate you. So shout out to Tory Trades for the third time. You are doing phenomenal. And I just prod her again because she's being so vulnerable and honest. I'm gonna be honest. If I was to lose $250,000 or being drawn out, I don't even know if I'd be doing this video that she's doing. But it goes to show you as a trader, we are all human, guys. We're not perfect, and there's not a perfect trader out there. Everybody wants to see the good and the glamorous, but nobody wants to see the good and the bad and the ugly. Nobody ever wants to see the vulnerable side of us. All right, we're almost finished. 3 more minutes.
these people mention my name on social media, they get their 7 minutes in heaven. They get their one moment of fame. They get the most views and the most engagement they've ever had simply because they're talking about me. And it's very funny to see how the narrative flips where people have dedicated hours of their life, probably weeks of their life, to try and prove that I am a fake trader. And now they may flip
Exactly.
the
I don't know
narrative and say,
why.
you know what, forget everything I said before. Tori's not fake, but she's just an awful trader. And
Mm.
they can take whatever narrative they like. That's fine. Some things that I want to mention about this trade, as far as the things that I've learned, the mistakes that I made from it, is this was heavy psychology. I knew exactly when to get out of this trade. I knew exactly how much of a loss I was supposed to take, and I didn't do it. I compared myself to these other guys on social media. I am
Mm.
chasing this six-figure trade that I thought that I
Mm.
should have by now, that I should have had by now.
Yep.
I
We've
still
all
didn't
been
get it.
there.
Still didn't get the six-figure trade after all that. I broke my rules and I over-leveraged. It sucked. Holding through $250,000 worth of drawdown was the most excruciating thing I've ever done in my life. And I'm the only one that gets to reap the consequences. If anyone would have tried to replicate this trade, there is a very high probability that they would have either gotten liquidated, margin called, or position closed, or blown their account. I was fortunate. I didn't. Price could have gone higher. It didn't. So I messed up. This shows that I'm human. This shows that I make mistakes. This shows that I truly show the highs and the lows of the trading world, the trading industry. This is real. Why would I post this if it made me look so bad? And it's just because
Mm,
I've taken the vow of transparency. I have taken the vow of honesty
there you
and
go.
being ethical,
Come
which
on,
seems
preach
to
it,
not
Tori.
be part of the industry anymore.
Yeah.
But this is me being human. I mean, I'm bummed. It sucks. This was a bad trade. This was a lapse in judgment. This was shitty. I'm still going to be around. I'm still here. So, and I will continue to be here. So, this is a moment where you guys got to finally see it. Tory Trades went on tilt. And here we are talking
Tori
about it.
Trey's went on
For
top.
everyone that has supported me and my journey and my trading, please learn from this mistake. Please allow me to show you exactly what it looks like. This is it right here. And this is what you don't want to do. If your psychology is already off to begin with, don't even look at the charts. I already knew as I'm watching this podcast. It was an incredible podcast, but it was truly like the comparison factor. And I hope that you can learn from this. And I hope that you can understand that if you did something very similar to this, you probably wouldn't have made it through to the other side. You probably wouldn't have closed at the 90,000. You probably wouldn't have been able to hold through the amount of drawdown that I did. It is what it is. I appreciate everyone that has been supportive of me and my trading and my journey. And I hope this sheds a light, even though it's awful. It's not fun. I just wanted to show this to you guys. It's not a great one. And here is to many more trades. I'm not going anywhere, guys. I'm sticking around. So for all of you that hate to see it, continue to watch and continue to get as much engagement and as many views as you can anytime you mention my name, because I'm not going anywhere. All right. Thanks for watching.
Trade Tori, aka. Just kidding. Tori Trades. Man, shout out to that woman because she is killing it right now. I don't care what anybody says. Tori Trades right now is probably one of the top female traders that I know in the trading industry. I don't care what the haters got to say. All right. And the reason why I'm doing this reaction video is because when I first listened to it, I really had to think about what she was saying. There was a lot she was saying. So as we're doing this reaction video, let's actually kind of focus on what really took place here and something that we all can take away from Tori. I think Tori is actually lighting the torch and she's telling you, hey, don't go this direction. Stay on this course. Simple. Do not over leverage. Do not marry your trade. Do not think that the outcome of what you really want is always going to be that outcome. When it's time to close the trade. Okay? Use proper risk management. Is this trade a part of your trading plan? This all goes into the factor of being a good trader and having great habits. Now, there's one thing that she also mentioned that we all do as traders is comparison. We compare ourselves to other traders. We see how much money they're making and say, man, I would love to be like that. Or I would love to be at that particular status one day. Or I should be already there because I'm just like them. And I see where she kind of messed up. And it looks like sometimes I'm not going to say her identity is in that, but sometimes we do put our identity in things or what people are doing or people's status just because we feel like we deserve that same thing. And I understand how she feels because I felt that too. When I saw other traders who were making tons of money, but yet in the same position I am in, I'm like looking over here and I'm like, how the heck I should be making that money too. But what if Tori, what she usually does, is she just stay the course of just making that 90K. Instead of going with that one trade and over leveraging, she could have just went with that one trade, used proper risk management, and called it a day. Even with the loss, she would have took her normal loss like she does on any other day. So if Tori is watching this, I don't even care if this video gets 5 views, 10 views. I don't care. If you're watching this, if Tori's watching this, Tori, listen, you have been an inspiration to many people in the trading industry. Something like this video, I wish traders, including myself, would be a little bit more vulnerable and honest when it comes to trading. Because there's a lot of traders in this trading space right now who are looking for that. because we are seeing too many people who are just posting their wins. We're seeing too many people who are just doing great. But what about the people who aren't always doing great? What about the people who are also struggling? I think that matters. That matters a lot. I'm sorry. So if I was in Tori Trey's shoes, I'm pretty sure you you seen the way that she was describing the trade, like the way that she was even repeating herself several times was telling you that she was just, you can tell that she's just bothered by this decision. What should we learn from this? Exactly what I said. And we need to avoid this path as as much as possible. To be honest, Tori is a legend right now because people who are legendary, people who are leaders, people in this business, in this trading business specifically, people who actually take big risk also take big losses. And sometimes they're the ones that pave the way for us to help us to avoid the mistakes that they've made. So for the fifth or sixth time, like I said, a shout out to Tori Trades. Tori, keep doing your things. Who cares about the haters? We're going to follow you anyways. I see you guys in the next video. And I hope, guys, that everybody who is watching this video is inspired by Tori Trades. And I recommend you to actually follow her as well. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.